going, everybody? So yesterday, following Comey's testimony, we heard a statement from Donald Trump's lawyer, calling into question many things that Comey had said, but also taking it as an opportunity to show that Trump has finally been exonerated, that Donald Trump is not and has not been under investigation for ties to Russia. Now that we can move all that aside, there's something else that's been happening on social media, and that's many people accusing Comey of lying under oath. Fox News has reported somewhat to this degree, questioning the timeline in which these memos were leaked. Now, let me give you the backstory. So, according to this theory that Comey may have lied under oath, Comey said in his testimony that he saw a tweet from Donald Trump on the 12th. This tweet was the famous tapes tweet where Trump said, Comey better hope there's no tapes of our conversations before he starts leaking to the press. Comey said he saw that and decided to leak memos of his meetings with Trump to a colleague who then leaked it to the New York Times. And Comey said the reason he didn't want to leak it himself is that he was surrounded by press and it would be like feeding seagulls on the beach. Now, there are two New York Times stories in question. According to this timeline, with Comey leaking following this tweet, we saw a story on May 16th from the New York Times that talked about Trump maybe pressuring Comey into letting Michael Flynn go. This is where the famous quote came from, "I hope you concede to letting this go," talking about how Michael Flynn was a good guy and he's been through a lot. And that fits the narrative. That fits Comey's statement that 4 days after this tweet came out, Comey leaked these memos. This story specifically references an associate of Comey sharing details of his memo to the New York Times. But there's another story. According to Trump's lawyer, the New York Times had been pulling quotes from the memo a full day before Trump tweeted. In fact, many people believe the reason Trump tweeted about the tapes in the first place is that this story came out in the New York Times, where Comey claims that Trump asked him for loyalty. Trump claims that's not the case, so we've got a bit of a he said, she said. But the fact remains, details of a private meeting between Comey and Trump surfaced before Trump tweeted about the tapes. So people are taking this to be proof that Comey was not genuine in his testimony, that he may have lied under oath. However, when you look at the New York Times story, on May 11th, they say that colleagues of Director Comey shared this information with the New York Times. It wasn't the memo. We're going to get into the specifics here. Comey says that he leaked the details of the memo following this tweet, and those details from that memo were used to make the story on the 16th. And according to the New York Times, the story on the 11th came from testimony from colleagues of Comey, not the memo. So if you were to ask me, did Comey lie under oath? It all makes sense. Comey was certainly leaking information before Trump tweeted, giving details of private meetings to colleagues who were then going to the press. But he didn't give the full details, the full memo, to his colleague until after Trump tweeted. So what this really sounds like is it's an escalating feud between a guy who got fired and the president or his boss. And aside from that, we're hearing that Trump is denying asking Comey for a meeting or asking for loyalty, saying that Comey requested the dinner. And then Comey testifies that he never initiated contact with Trump. The only thing he ever got close to was when he may have called the White House switchboard after being asked to call Trump. So we've got a he said, she said going on. And here's what's going to happen. It's predictable. The people who support Trump are going to keep supporting him, and they're going to believe Trump is telling the truth. And the people who don't like Trump are going to believe Comey and assume he's telling the truth. To me, this all seems like a big waste of time. A lot of conjecture, a lot of he said, she said. I guess it's just the process of people trying to figure out what the hell is even going on. But does this really even matter? What we can say, people have speculated that Comey may have been fired for not letting Flynn go, or that Trump was trying to impede his investigation into Russia. But the meetings that we're hearing about in these news stories happened a long time ago, back in February. So was he fired directly for this? I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, there's a lot of factors. It probably is a factor. But I think the main theory that seems to work, as per Comey's testimony and as for what Trump has even said, is that Trump wanted Comey to clarify that Trump wasn't under investigation. We keep hearing the story of the Trump-Russia investigation, and we know that there isn't one. Comey didn't clarify this because he didn't want to enter a duty to correct, as they call it, and so Trump was probably fed up and fired him. Trump said a cloud had been lifted. But you know what? If you ask me, it just really feels like the media is obsessed with Trump. Everybody is just so damn obsessed with Trump, and I can prove that they're obsessed with Trump because it's not about what Trump does. It's not about what Trump says. The mere act of Trump doing nothing, like it's not even an act. Trump literally does nothing and a news story pops up. So guess how, Google search Trump doesn't tweet. Seriously, how many news stories are you gonna find about Trump not tweeting? Okay, Trump tweets a typo, kafifi, and it's a literal news headline for a week. Jokes, memes, everything, everyone's laughing about it. Trump doesn't tweet, and again, headlines across the board, oh my God, Trump didn't tweet. It seems like whether Trump does something or not, the media people are just obsessed with him. They love this story, and here's where I'm getting worried. I'm getting worried that a lot of this talk about the administration, the things he's doing, it's simply people constantly patting each other on the back, trying to one-up one another. There's this phenomenon that happens when you take a group of people and you put them in a room together, and if they all, if one person does something that everyone else likes, then that reinforces that behavior, and then everyone starts picking it up. So could we really just be walking into a scenario where people are ragging on Trump for the sake of ragging on Trump because people like it when you rag on Trump, and then because you rag on Trump, people are going to like it's just this endless cycle of, the media is chasing its own tail. Now look, there's absolutely reasons to criticize Donald Trump and his administration. Of course there is. And there's some pretty serious things to criticize him about. It's not a secret that I am not a fan of Donald Trump. Like I've sat down with Trump supporters, and typically what we do is we have discussions and debates and arguments. I've not been a fan of any of the presidents because it's an impossible job, in my opinion, where you're always doing something wrong and there's always something to criticize you about. While I am impressed that people are finally rising up and holding the executive authority to the coals, right? This is something that people haven't done in the past, so it's good to see that people are interested in scrutinizing the presidency. I gotta say, when there are headlines because the president didn't tweet, I'm just like, okay, come on. It's going too far in the other direction, right? Let's keep it serious, right? Let's write stories that actually bring up important issues and actually criticize the actions of the president for serious things. Not because he got 2 scoops of ice cream, not because he tweeted a typo, not because he didn't tweet. For the love of God, I hate doing videos like this. I hate seeing Twitter feed just inundated with people saying Trump misspelled a word, Trump had ice cream, Trump didn't tweet anything. Is that what the news is on about? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go skateboard because this is absolutely crazy. Please, journalists, all of you, supporters of Trump, opponents of Trump, journalists, media, professors, whatever your job is, let's find some real criticisms for the things he's doing, constructive criticisms, make him do a better job, hold him to the coals. Don't give him a pass. I am grateful that so many people want to keep the president in check, but for the love of God, you lose credibility when you do a news story about ice cream and Twitter. Is this real life anymore? I can't seem to figure it out. Anyway, comment below. Let me know what you think. Because I feel like a lot of people feel this way. Again, I'm not a fan of Trump or any politician. I welcome the criticism, but for the love of God, ice cream, Twitter, just... Is that all we got left? People, just... Whatever. If you liked the video, click the like button, and again, comment below and let me know what you think. New videos every day at 4 p.m. I'm gonna go meet up with a buddy, and we're gonna just kind of relax today. We're gonna shoot a video, and I'm gonna go skate, and I think I'm gonna do a video, just a fun video, hanging out with some people in LA and having some fun conversations, because this is just I'll see y'all tomorrow.